Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio on this? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, thanks, Jack. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Um, Welcome, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it's the noon. Uh, Welcome to my world, the noon edition at on the 24th of November. So I just thought I'd take a minute and kind of review what's going on. Right now, I would pay pretty close attention if you're in a trade. The White House news briefing with President Hollande is just started. And in view of the fact that the Turks put up a fighter jet and shot a Russian plane out of the sky this morning, this might cause crude oil in particular to take to the upside a little bit. So anyway, we'll see what all they have to say, I guess, after they get through saying it. Not that I believe too much of it, but at least they're talking. So right now we've got the VIX at about 1580. It's just a little below 16. These indices this morning were kind of in a hover. Then they took a good hour trade down. First they were up, then they were down, then they bounced back up for an hour and a half. And TF and especially has had a really nice run. NQ has, they all have. The reason that they are moving like this is what I mentioned before. There is a tremendous amount of big money that is being repositioned. And so when you see this go down right now, um, all that means to people with these big managers with big money is, oh look, I can buy some at a bargain price of whatever it is, and so it's a little bit like the ocean tide till they get this. I think these big movements like this up and down all in the same day will dissipate somewhat after the first of the year, because then their books will be closed out for 2015. Right now, Brent is trading in a spot where it could conceivably for today put in a bit of a double top. If it breaks through it needs to break through 46.5 to the upside, and then it will definitely be in an uptrend. If it cannot do that, and it's pretty darn close to it right now, if it rejects 46.5, then we may see another movement to the downside on crude oil that would be tradable, because crude oil will follow it. The Canadian dollar, interestingly enough, earlier had this late last week, and I can't remember about tomorrow. I mean yesterday, but it had really bad economic news out of Canada, and it took the Canadian dollar down. And it's been a real happy camper because it's moving. Typically, it is the commodity, I mean, the currency for the commodity of crude oil. The Canadian dollar will move with crude oil as a rule. All things being equal, that's historically been the thing. I can't quite get a feel of what gold is likely to do. It's just been in a real tight, choppy range, and so I've been ignoring that. But the U.S. indices have been great. The volume in those may dissipate some this afternoon, and likely tomorrow by noon, most of the trading will be over with in the U.S. markets. Keep in mind, that the United States is the only country on the planet that has this huge big holiday on Thursday. The rest do not. So if you are going to be trading through this week, you might find better opportunities in some of the markets that track the overseas markets. I noticed this morning there was I do not watch the 6B, which is the British pound sterling, but there was a significant bad news for that this morning on an economic basis. So um, let's go back and look at crude oil this morning. I think where we left off was all this choppy apex stuff. I hate that choppy apex stuff. So I just ignore it until it decides to get over it. And once it broke the high of the day, for me, then the confidence was to take it right here because we had let me get this, we had this mountain building right here. But a good entry for me is the high of yesterday because it had come through the high of today. And that was certainly say 42.75, a good trade up to this magnet at 43.10. This has been a significant magnet. Notice something else when it went right up to this magnet and then it backed off for a little bit. This was the top of the range channel, just happened to coincide with this magnet. The crude oil bus drivers really like the top of those range channels. So this kind of surprised me. It went on above here because this would be taking it up to, I mean, if it goes on up today and breaks this deviation, this will be a 1.5 deviation level. So I would not be taking any long trades past this without a significant signal to do so, because it's the probability at a 1.5 deviation move off of settlement, which was pretty much the case for crude oil. It started about 6 this morning. The probability of that moving on is going to take a significant amount of volume. So right now we do have 300,000 plus contracts trading, that's a good amount. But if you recall yesterday at around 2:30, when we closed out, it was almost 500,000. So let's see, I have a question. What do I think crude oil will be like on Friday? You know what? I try not to think, because if you think, you get yourself into a pre-bias, and the problem with that is the bus driver is going to make you wrong every single time. So I just try not to think and trade what's in front of me. This is going to be a volatile time. I can tell you that. It's the time of the year, for one thing, with lots of big money being moved. But this business in the Middle East seems to be picking up some steam, and that makes people, the big money, it makes the markets in general just a little to the not so sure side. So trade what you see. When you get a good signal, take it. That's what we have this stuff for. Not a problem. Volume. These indices have had some nice volume, which has driven this, and crude oil has had some nice volume, but not like yesterday when, I mean, the expected volume couldn't even hardly fit in our little, it was so high that it couldn't even hardly fit in our little window here. So anyway, let's see. There was something else I wanted to share with you, and I think I've covered it all. I've started trying to make myself notes so I don't forget anything. But anyway, I will be back at 2:30, and we'll see what this afternoon has brought. This has been my view from my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll see you about 2:30. Thanks.